Welcome back to another episode of What Works Weekly with B Coaching and Consulting. My name is Mike Wood, and on this episode, I interviewed Devin Sizemore. I guess the easiest way to say it is he helps people build connections. I want to say relationships, but this is really about connections. So listen to him. He's going to give you the framework of the four things that are involved. It's a very simple recipe. Wait to the end because there's a little bonus for you, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Devin Sizemore wrote a book called Connection Expansion. This is the book. Devin, how'd you get to the point where, one, you came up with what this book talks about? And number two, what made you actually decide to write a book?
Love it. Mike, thanks for having me, man. It's so good to connect with you. I wrote the book because I was helping people write books, and I had a client go, "Where's your book?" And I went, "I don't know if I have something I can put in a book." And sure enough, fast forward 45 days later, the book was out.
Wow.
The big reason for writing the book was, I'm on a mission to facilitate 1 million connections. And in order to do that, I have to educate more people on how to make good connections. And the best way to do that is to put it in the book and share it with the world. And so in the book, I share everything about the connection expansion system and everything that's covered, templates, next steps, processes. It's the whole thing. I don't hold back. I share it all because I want to empower people on that mission to 1 million connections.
So in order to get 1 million connections, it's not you connecting with 1 million people.
It could be. We're making a dent. We'll make 5,000 this year, but it's going to take a lot of years to get there. So yes, we need other people to be joining us on this mission to make connections.
And what was it about connections that resonated with you? Why do you think connections are important?
Yeah, when I had my marketing agency, I found myself in a crowded marketplace, lots of noise, competing with a lot of people that were very scarcity mindset competition. And in that world, it was just so cutthroat. And I was like, there's got to be a better way. There has to be a path where we can control networking, optimize our language, and get a different outcome. And that's really what became the foundation of the connection expansion system. And this idea of always add value, add connections to others, nurture long-term. And with that structure, you gain control of the process again, and then you're not competing. Like you're in a lane of your own in a world that you control.
Right, right. Can you go through those three things again? Because I'm taking notes as we do this. Just because I need to get better at this. What I've found is that the connections I have determine the business that I do. So you said add value.
Yeah, so there's actually 5 principles. So let's get all of them. So principle 1 is always add value. And so that means adding value with not your product or service, but solving problems, providing a resource, or making connections. Principle number 2 is control what you can control. So often we apply emotion to things we can't control. So anytime you're building a process, make sure you're only focused on the parts you can control, right? The language you use, how you show up, how you follow up, how you conduct your meetings, how you add value, all those things are controllable.
Yeah.
3 and 4 go together. There's value in every relationship. So never enter a room trying to figure out who's important. Everybody's important. Number 4, never make an assumption about a connection. This is for when someone introduces you to someone, you can do your research and your deep dive, but you don't need to start assuming where the value is or isn't. Just take a meeting,
Right.
Be curious, ask questions. And then number 5 is train by doing. So if you want more inbound connections, if you want people to open the door for you, hint, you have to open the door for others. And what we find over time is it's about a 3-to-1 ratio. So if I make 3 connections, I get 1 back. So part of the reason we teach make 3 connections to everyone you meet is you're then building a foundation where that network will give you 1 back. And over time, that's how your network continues to grow itself.
So like the law of reciprocity.
100%. Just gamified and scalable.
I love it. I love it. So the book is entitled Connection Expansion. What's the exercise that you have along with it, and how does it help people shift their ask?
Yeah, so the connection expansion exercise is really the foundation for making the shift from building a network that's doing nothing with you to a network that is reactive and producing. And so the exercise goes through who's your ideal client, which if you're watching or listening, you should know that. You should know who your ideal client profile is, hopefully. If not, hint, go do
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And
Avatar.
then we want to, yeah, you got to know it. And then we want to figure out what are the 6 ways that we shift from one to one to one to many to many to many. And so what that means is where does our client spend money? Where do they gather? Where do they seek education? Who do they trust? Who has influence over them? Or who's a general connector that knows everybody? You want to build that list because that list should be your ask. And so let me explain what that means. So when we go out and I say, Mike, who can I connect you with? Your default answer is typically your ideal client profile. That's what most people are trained at to answer. Those who are a tad more savvy might reply with, if we're talking realtors, mortgage lenders and insurance agents. Like that's the go-to, right? I need all those
Right.
people. Well, the issue is every realtor is asking for that too. But as we build that other list, that's where we find unique alignment where our competition doesn't play. So maybe we find I had a realtor who loves cigars and whiskey. And so we found out that he could get in front of good potential buyers or sellers at the cigar lounges or
Right.
at whiskey tastings, especially those that were surrounded around business because they tend to be high performing professionals with money. And so he built a whole strategy where that was his ask. Like, if you hear of anyone that's hosting like a whiskey tasting, or if you have a favorite place in town, I'd love to go. And he just started building his network on these two really random avenues that led him to his ideal clients. You could do that through, again, any of the 6 buckets, but it shifts our asks and it makes us think about building a network different.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's really target marketing, isn't it?
It's target marketing with the right lens, right? Again, everyone else is targeting the ideal client. Everyone's spending social media and direct marketing dollars and all this stuff on the client. What if you took the same strategies that work, but went after these strategic partners? That's the hidden gem.
Well, and you're taking dollars out of the equation because I would spend money. Let's say I'm a real estate agent in a large town. I buy a billboard, not cheap. I get a ton of eyeballs on it, but some of those eyeballs are 14-year-old kids. They're not buying homes. A lot of them rent apartments. That's not my ideal client. It doesn't necessarily cost me a lot of money to have conversations with people that can introduce me to other people that are my ideal avatar or target client and put me in a room with others that are of the same mindset.
Yeah,
So
you
what do you,
already have a network. Let's
yeah,
let's go there, right? You already have a network. Everyone watching and listening to this has a database that you've
yeah,
probably underutilized. Just book some meetings, change how we do the meeting, change how you follow up. And again, none of that, to your point, costs money. Yeah, it costs a little bit of time investment, but you're going to get the reciprocity growing. And the more you do this compounded over time, it gets bigger.
right, right. So what would you say are some of the top mistakes that I don't know, we could say real estate agents, but just about any sales business professional, what are the mistakes that they make when it comes to building a professional network?
Yeah, so first is breaking one of the 5 principles. 99.9% of the time when someone's like, Devin, it's not working, I'm not getting connections, this thing's not producing, I just go back to the 5 principles, and it's usually one of those. Most of the time, it's around limiting who you're connecting with, because again, that's what
Hmm.
we've been taught, right? Identify your avatar, get super narrow, do all your marketing, networking, and focus around that. And what happens, real example from my connection meeting today, we had someone who came on and she does consulting with homeschooling, really, really narrow niche.
Yeah,
And she's not coming in the room looking for the one homeschool person. And if she looked around the people on the screen, instantly she would have been like, there's no value here and get off. But what happened is one of the ladies on went, oh, both my kids were homeschooled. I know 2 homeschooling networks. Amanda, I'm happy to help you. And so super narrow ask shows up on a meeting with 14 people and ends up with direct opportunities. And so most people fail because they go into that same meeting, look around the screen or the room and go,
right,
nah, there's really not potential clients in here, and they leave. Well, what about everybody else? You don't know who they know. You don't know what their history is. You don't know what their spouse does. You know nothing. So don't make
right.
any assumptions. Just be curious. Treat everyone exactly the same, and you'll be amazed what happens.
Well, you said that earlier don't discount any connection. Every connection has value.
100%. I'm probably a testament to that because I think the first time you met me, I was 20 something who just started a company and had no cash. And fast
Well,
forward, what, 6 or 7 homes later? Like,
yeah,
would
but
you have thought I was a great lead? Who knows?
the thing, well, plus you were getting into an industry that was brand new. I mean, it really was. It was, gosh, 15 years ago where you said, let me come into your office with a camera and I'm just going to ask you a series of questions and we're going to turn it into videos and we're going to put them out. And I should go get those and I should put them out just to show how dorky and what an idiot. I mean, I had a shiny suit on. But it goes back to your point, which is if you see value in people, regardless of what title they have, status they have, car they drive, and I'm a big believer that people will show you who they are over time, and I would much rather spend my time with kind, empathetic, nice, real, genuine people than somebody who's fake and flashes wealth and things like that. So I like genuine folks, and what I found is that genuine people want to help genuine people. So it's really easy for a lot of people like you and I to analyze the situation, ask some questions, and go, "Hey, I think I know somebody that can help you with that. Let me connect you with them." With the idea, and it's one of the tenets of how I built the real estate company, which was if you have a problem, if you have a need, and I can fill it for you, and I let you know what my problem or my need is, which is I need clients. I'm like a pizza place and I need people that want to buy pizza, right? I sell a commodity or service, and I want to help people. So if I can help you, then maybe you can help me. My ask just isn't
That's
isn't,
that's
isn't
it.
as direct as it should be. Okay, so how do you recommend that business professionals have more success when they're networking, either in person or like what we're doing a lot of these days? Because you're connecting me with people nationwide that are really good in their own spaces, and it could be mindset, it could be finance, things like that. I had a call yesterday with Brad out of Vegas, and we're doing all of these virtually. So how can we get better at establishing the connections virtually and in person?
Yeah, so when you're networking, let's talk break it into two sectors. So you have the networking environment, and in
Okay.
that, your biggest goal is to get people's contact info. However you get it doesn't really matter. You need to make sure you capture their info so that you can follow up. A lot of people mess that up, right? I get business cards out. People will call me. No one's ever going to follow up with you. That's just truth in sales and follow up. Like no one follows up. So you need to be the one to do it.
Correct.
Assuming you get them into a meeting, right? Whether it was referred, whether you did the work, you show up to a meeting, that connection meeting, we call it a connection meeting, right? Should have no agenda really. And then now I'm going to give you the agenda, right? So I don't want you to come in with the goal of selling and over aligning and doing all these things. I want you to come in curious. I want you to follow a very specific flow that will lead you to the 3 E's. And so the 3 E's are at the end of a meeting, I want to be able to edify you. So I need to know enough about you to say, hey, Mike's a rock star. Here's why. I need to be
Yep.
able to explain what you do and why I would be connecting you to someone. And I need to be
Okay.
able to endorse you, which means I have to have a level of trust in your ability to follow through.
Yeah.
And so I need to know you at a little bit more of a personal level. So that's my outcome. How do we get there? We follow the 5-step process. And so in the meeting, we always start with current state. What do you do and who do you serve? So whatever questions get you the answers to that. We then go backwards. Hey, Mike, how'd you get here? What'd you do before? What's your
Hmm.
story? And so
Okay.
we want people to reflect because that shows us the industries they were in before, a little hint into their history. Maybe if they've made a transition or are going to make another transition, some of those things become apparent. We then have them future cast. Mike, where are you going? What are you doing? What's your big goals for this year? So now we are collectively dreaming with them. And when they answer these questions, you want to make sure that you are their biggest cheerleader in this moment. Mike, that's amazing. Love that. Heck yeah. Right. So we want to affirm whatever their dreams are. And then we want to ask them what's in the way. Hey, you told me where you're at. You told me where you're going. What are some things between here and there that are in your way? What are the challenges?
Yeah.
This is the moment in the meeting where you figure out if you're building a relationship. If the answer was something superficial, super quick, kind of brush you off, you have not taken the time and asked enough questions. When I ask this question for people, they bear all. They're like, you know what? I fired this employee yesterday. This, and this are going wrong. Like they get into it. Like they start opening up. If that's the answer, one, they're telling you how to help them. Great. What resources they need, what problems they're trying to solve. But two, you have a deep relationship because they've opened up to you. The walls down, the barriers are gone.
Yeah.
And then the fifth segment of every meeting is, Mike, what can I do to help you, or who can I connect you with? Because we want to show them that we're a servant, we're going to add value, we're going to help them. If the meeting goes correctly, you should only have 10 to 15% of the meeting left for them to flip the script and ask you questions. So you have to figure out how to be really efficient, which is great. Because again, they don't need to know a ton about you. You need to know a ton about them so you can control the follow-up, because you don't care how they follow up because they're not going to. So you want to control the follow-up, and you want to make sure that they know just enough about you at the end of the meeting to understand who to connect you with.
Yeah. I like that. Now, so how do you, if you're meeting a lot of people, you're connecting with a lot of them, how do you keep that follow-up from not being intimidating?
Yeah, so language and time. So with everything we share, all of the templates, the language is critical. Because when I tell you I want you to follow up with someone every 3 business days, 5 times, every 7 business days, 4 times, every 6 weeks for the rest of their life, most people are like, Devin, I'm too pushy. It's too much. I'm annoying. Yeah, it's because you're used to the newsletters. You're used to these sales promotion things. You're used to things that are promotional. But the language we use, we'll use the nurture email as an example. You've probably received 100 of these by now,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
I hope you're doing well and having a great day. Hey, Mike, it's been a while since we last connected. What's new and exciting in your world? Any new challenges? As always, please let me know who I can connect you with. I look forward to hearing back from you. So the language we use, whether it's following up from networking, following up from a meeting, following up long term, it's all about the other person and how I can help them. Because that has no friction, right? There's no sales pitch, there's no agenda. And because it's about the other person, you can do it as much and as often as you want.
And you said email, so you have these things templated out. They
Yeah,
go
so
out.
in the book,
There's a cadence.
yeah. In the book, I share the templates, ACES Connection Group. I also have all the templates listed in there. We don't change anything. The same scripts I share are the exact scripts we send out. We just
Yeah.
send them out, probably 10 to 100 times more than you probably will, but they work, so just use them.
Well, and the follow up is checking in on you. Is there anything I can do for you? Anything you need? I love that.
Everything.
So what about sales professionals that wanted to amplify their networking efforts? What would be a first step of somebody? I understand I can go to like a BNI or something, and my job's to get 3 cards, but we've all done it. None of us really liked it. What would be a first step for somebody to kind of break the mold?
Yeah, let's use what you already have. So sure, if you enjoy networking, it's the same as if you enjoy dialing for dollars or cold calling, do those things, right? Great. You'll set yourself apart. And if you said yes to the dialing for dollars part, kudos to you, because you're never going to catch me doing that.
God bless
Uh,
you.
it's true. What I
I know.
recommend is this. So I call it the power of one, right? You need to book one meeting with one person in your network you haven't talked to in the last year. So just go to your database, find one person that you're like, I like that person. Haven't talked to him in a while. Book a meeting, right? If it's in person, great. If it's virtual, great. In that
Yeah.
meeting, change the language. So shift it to the connection meeting and go through the flow. So you want to focus on them. You want to ask questions. Even if this is someone you think you know really well, ask the same questions. Hey, Mike, remind me how you got here. What'd you do before this real estate thing, right? Like, just be curious and follow the flow, and then follow up differently. So when we get to the follow up, send them a nice meeting recap. It was a great meeting with you. I enjoyed this, and this, or great choice on a restaurant, or whatever it is. Then make your 3 connections. Hey, I want to connect you with these 3 people because they can help you strategically grow. They're targeting similar clients, whatever it might be. And then provide any resources you said you were going to provide, and then move them into a nurture process. And if you just do this on the 3-to-1 ratio, what should happen is they should introduce you to one person, or one of the 3 people you connect them to is going to go, hey, Devin, thanks for that connection. We haven't connected in a while. We should catch up. And then guess what? You book a meeting with them. You move them through this new process. You connect them with 3 more people. One of those 3 people or them is going to send you someone or say, hey, Devin, thanks for that connection. It's been a while. And what will happen is you'll start to grease this thing and the wheel will start moving.
Yeah. Yeah. And then basically what you're doing is you're creating a center where everything just kind of flows around you. You're being the hub, which
That's
is a
what you want.
wonderful,
I want everything
wonderful.
to come in. And so I go to no networking events. I do some events if people pay me to be there. And
Yeah.
we get anywhere from 3 to 5 inbound referrals a day.
And that's a very fair thing to say as you spoke for us in Reno when we did Unstoppable. Crowd absolutely loved it. We condensed your speech down to what, 15, 18 minutes. So you had to go really fast and they were trying to take notes, and their hands weren't moving fast enough. So that was wonderful. How do people get a hold of you? How do people expose themselves to the book, to your program?
Yeah, so you can grab a copy of Connection Expansion on Amazon, all formats, and an audiobook in case you want to listen to me talk for an hour and 54 minutes.
Oh yeah.
You can also go to connectionexpansion.com. That will give you information on our free school community where I have all the scripts, templates, and resources. If you go to devinsizemore.com, you'll see it on the screen here, Devin Size, then more. You can go to the book tab, get a free copy of the book. There's a ton of resources and stuff on the website as well. Per principle number 1, always add value. There's a ton of ways that I'm trying to provide more resources and tools for you. And if you jump on a Connection Blitz meeting, which everyone's welcome to, my promise is anyone new I meet, I'll make 3 connections for you.
Slick, slick. Well, you also do classes where you teach them how to get better at what their ask is, who they're looking for, why they're looking for them. I think a lot of us are good at meeting people, but a lot of us are not really good at identifying who we want the people we know looking for to connect us, and we don't teach them how. So if there was one simple takeaway that you would give out for free that you would think would be the most impactful for anybody listening or watching, what would it be?
Go through the Connection Expansion exercise. So we talked about it, but there's more in ACEs for a video on it. There's a video on YouTube about it. You really have to figure out how to change your ask, because as soon as you stop asking for the ideal client, you start getting clear on the strategic ask, your network will start to open doors for you because all the friction is gone. You've got to start there.
I love that. The universe wants to give you what you want. You just have to know what it is. Cool. All right, brother. Any last positive words?
Just the reminder, we have, I had this email this morning and it's just a reminder. If anyone sends you a connection, you don't need to overthink it. Book a meeting, get them on the calendar, because that's the part you can control. I had someone send me a thing. Oh, I looked at their LinkedIn and their website and I'm trying to figure out how to connect all the dots. You don't need to figure it out. Just show up to the meeting, ask the questions, nurture, right? Because you don't know their spouse, their family, what they do, their business part. You know nothing. So just show up curious, act like a journalist. And so this is something I like to tell people, right? I have a journalism degree and I think that helps me be curious. But just show up like you got your pen and paper and you're just stoked to meet this person and ask all the questions, because guess what? You can. And I love
Yeah.
learning about people, and I encourage you to do the same. If you just show up with every meeting like that, you'll already start winning because you're taking all the pressure off whatever agenda you thought you had to have.
Totally. Totally. Listen, somebody said it this morning. Listen to understand. Don't listen to respond. But if you go in saying, hey, I want to know all about you, and that's it. Not can you buy something from me? Can I sell you something? But who are you? Cool. Now I've got somebody else that is in my toolbox that if I run into somebody and they go, gosh, what I really need is somebody that could teach me how to make connections. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. Here, not only do I have the people I need to connect you with, now I've got the framework of how I make that connection. Um, I love that. So I appreciate you, brother. I'm very proud of what you're doing. I think it's amazing. And I think anybody that doesn't get the book, or at least spend a little bit of time and they're in the sales game, they're, they run their own business, any type of entrepreneur, I think they'd be stupid to not do it. So thank you for giving me 25, 30 minutes of your day. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you, brother.
All right. See you, buddy.